Namaste and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsuman. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a bad throat, but that doesn't mean we're not doing the show, and we're getting you big news. Big news of Pakistan's deception. Its lie cut out when it turns around and says that it is not harboring secessionist forces who are acting against the interest of India operating on Pakistani soil. Here's the proof that they are right there getting patronage. And it's not just with terror groups like the Al-Qaeda. It's not just about Osama bin Laden or Ayman al-Zawahiri, but there is active support for Khalistani groups also. This is the proof that we have, courtesy our investigations editor Manoj Gupta, and we start with this big news. Khalistani terrorists have, this is the mega exclusive, Khalistani terrorist and Dal Khalsa co-founder Gajinder Singh C has been seen in Pakistan. Gajinder Singh has posted a Facebook picture at Gurdwara Panja Sahib in Hassan Abdal in Pakistan. Pakistan has denied in the past that Gajinder Singh is on its soil. But this picture posted on Facebook is seen as the Khalistani cadre breaking loose from suppression by Pakistani intel sources. They are now coming out and openly declaring their presence. CNN News 18 sources are saying that intel sources within the government of India are telling CNN News 18 that this is proof of Pakistan's open support to Khalistanis, not just Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Jaish. The picture is a big move by pro-Khalistan terror groups. This is what they're saying. They're saying after years of ISI restrictions, pressured Khalistani groups or K groups, they want to break free. They have not given documents. They want Pakistan to give citizenship. So this is what the Khalistanis are saying. You want us here. You're not giving us citizenship or naturalizing us. Then we are going to come out and establish our presence in Pakistan openly. There is open rebellion that is happening. But this is hard proof to the world that Pakistan is knowingly, deliberately operating against the interest and the sovereignty of India. Pathikrit Pine with us, geopolitical analyst. Quick two comments from Pathikrit. Pathikrit, first up, how should India now take this to the world? There is this Pakistani narrative that India is the oppressor, but here it is Pakistan that is emerging as a haven for separatist, secessionist forces who want to work against the sovereignty of India.
Well, I think, Anand, there will be a review by Financial Action Task Force on Pakistan very soon. And so I think the best thing that India can do right now is to take it forward to FATF that while Pakistan seems on claiming that they have given up on instrument of as terrorism as an instrument of statecraft, this is the reality. But I also want to say one thing, Anand. The reason that he is standing over there is also because he knows that unlike in case of Osama bin Laden or al-Zawahiri, there will be no drone strike on him. So I think the world will not do anything. I don't have any illusion that the world will come together and fight against terrorism as a whole. It doesn't happen that way. I think India has to do something in terms of making Balakot-like airstrike not an exception, but as a norm. This is something that we have to do. Pakistan will keep on doing these things. I think there is also another motive behind it. Pakistan is trying to somehow revive terrorism inside Punjab as well. India is part of Punjab. So I think these are certain hints that they're giving, that they're gradually coming up. I think some kind of, if you see in case of Punjab, of India, there are these murmurs and elements who keep on raising these voices of Khalistan at times, and probably there's a symbiotic relationship. Each is trying to give a little bit of strength to the others. So far as Pakistan is concerned, there is no denial that they'll keep on doing these things unless we make it a norm that we will hit like Balakot every time they do something. Unfortunately, these kind of things will keep on happening. You see, Anand, one very important point. In case of Kashmir, they have lost the plot literally. So for them to revive, Khalistan movement in Punjab is very important, and that's why I think while you may be right that they are doing it on their own, at the same time the possibility of Pakistan also doing it in a brazen manner cannot be ruled out altogether.
See, because Pakistan's game has always. You wanted to make another point. Complete, then I'll come to you.
Yeah. So I just want to make one point. I think India also have to make certain things very clear. There's a person who is a member of Parliament, Simranjit Singh Mann, who is from the Shiromani Akali Dal Amritsar faction. If you look at his Twitter account, he openly writes that he is striving for Khalistan, a sovereign state for the Sikhs. I think we should not allow these things to happen at all. A member of Parliament should have, there are certain rules that should be there for member of Parliament. Soft secessionism sentiments have have been allowed in Punjab for a long period of time. I think this is giving more impetus, and these are the fault lines on which Pakistan capitalizes even more. So far as Pakistan is concerned, we have to. I am waiting for that day where every person like him, Gajinder Singh, will be scared to stand outside because there will be a drone strike. The West will not do anything beyond the point. For West, for America, it doesn't matter if there was a 1981, hijack and by the Khalistanis, because for them, terrorism ends the moment terror attacks ends in Western land. That's it.
No, but the simple point is Pakistan is a master at deception. They will say that there is no Osama bin Laden on Pakistani soil. They will never show him. They will say an Ayman al-Zawahiri was never in Karachi. They will say a Mullah Omar was never on Pakistani soil. They didn't even know who Sirajuddin Haqqani was till the time he became the interior minister of Afghanistan. So these are all realities of Pakistan. So if they want to work, then they would try and keep these people under wraps. They have been caught. They've been caught active in Gurudwaras and in these areas in Lahore, not so far away from where Hafiz Saeed lives. They've been caught. But now if they are deliberately putting their pictures, that means there are fissures brewing. This can also also become dangerous because these Khalistanis could deliberately act against India just to prove a point to the Pakistanis.
Exactly. Absolutely right. You are right, Anand, because Tehreek-e-Taliban has become a Frankenstein exactly like this, where they become, an enemy number one of Pakistan, in spite of the fact that Tehreek-e-Taliban's origin as Talibanis were actually funded and mentored by ISI. So I think the bigger fear is also that, these elements will try to act on their own. You are absolutely spot on that. The problem with the international agencies, the moment the FATF will come again, Pakistan will start crying, oh, we have a flood, 1/3 of Pakistan is drowning. Please don't have any kind of more sanctions on us. Let us live. You are putting common people's life on danger. That's how they have put the double game for so long. And if you look at what Donald Trump said in January 2018, when he said that for 15 years, United States gave $33 billion to Pakistan, and all that Pakistan has given to United States in the name of fighting terrorism is truth, lies and deceit. So this is what Pakistan is. I think India will have to take certain strong stand. It has to be a multifaceted approach. But at the same time, we need to understand what are the subterfuges behind this person coming out. Is it a ploy of their own? Is it something else that Pakistan is planning? That is something we have to be careful about. I'm sure the agencies are working on it.
Well, let's hope, and there should be some hard action taken diplomatically. We need to use this as part of our foreign policy to put Pakistan in the corner. And of course, the FATF revision when it comes forth, they should take cognizance of this. CNN News 18 in the past has caught Khalistanis living right in Lahore. We have the footage, we have access to this in the part. This is dated visuals, but we have seen other Pakistanis also who are there, Khalistanis also who have been living and operating out of Lahore. So right in the heart of Pakistan. There you go. We've got the exclusive videos again, which were accessed by our investigations editor Manoj Gupta, the Babar Khalsa international chief in Johar town. He's been caught in the past. Let's move on. I thank Pathikrit Pain for joining us on this breaking input here on The Right Stand. It was a CNN News 18 exclusive that we put out here on this Wednesday edition. But now, let's set up the debate for the day. One Neta parties, or these registered, unrecognized political parties, should they be in existence? The Election Commission wanted to crack down on them. Now, the Income Tax Department conducted raids in multiple states as part of a tax evasion probe against registered, unrecognized political parties and their alleged dubious funding. The searches are being carried out in the states of Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Haryana, Rajasthan, many more. The action taken by the IT department on the recommendation of the Election Commission, which found 87 entities non-existent during physical verification. The poll panel took action against more than 2,100 registered, unrecognized political parties for flouting rules and election laws. Now, here's the data that we have, that the searches that are being conducted and all such parties where fraudulently bogus donations worth 2,000 crore rupees have been received, and the same have been given back to donors in cash after deducting a commission of 2 to 3%. So political parties are being used to gumao paisa, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happening. What has the Election Commission mandated? Let's try and understand that. The Election Commission has mandated 2,177 registered unrecognized political parties under the scanner. This is the Election Commission mandate. They're calling for a mega cleanup. They're also saying 2,000 crore, like I read out, received as donations. Allegedly, this has been laundered, 2 to 3% commission and then returned. Then, how many? 66 parties claimed tax exemptions and they flouted norms. Then, you had 3 parties who've been accused of serious financial fraud. 23 parties covered in raids to be removed from the Election Commission's list. This entire One Neta Party syndrome, this is a timely cleanup, and is this much needed crackdown if we really want India to have Swachh politics. Let's get into the debate straight up. We have with us Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. We also have Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Vikas Gupta, lawyer, Smita Prakash, editor, ANI. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Smita ji, what do you think? How would you see this crackdown? De raha hai, durust hai, because people have been saying, who are these parties? And you are using political party also to launder money. How ingenious we can be as a country.
Well, it was a dirty secret, and it was that, elections were used for, unaccounted money to be used during elections. It was something everybody knew, everybody wanted a cleanup to happen, but somehow it was not taking place. The corrupt need to be punished is something that everybody agrees, even political parties agree. The problem occurs where the opposition feels that they are the only ones who are being targeted, and the ruling party never gets raided when these kind of pre-electoral raids happen for digging out unaccounted cash. And this is an allegation which is not new, Anand. It's been going on for a long time, for decades in fact. Every time unaccounted wealth is hauled up, it was like, oh, this is a witch hunt. Now, what has happened today is that 30 locations, and I think 2,100 or 2,000 some odd unrecognized parties under tax scrutiny, and there'll be further raids, I'm sure, because they've been found to be flouting rules, election laws. Some had even doctored books, dubious money contributions. They didn't update their books. Nobody knows where the contributions came from, addresses not existing. So political parties, are livid, of course, that this is happening just before the election. Now, everything happens just before the election. Bulldozers also just before the election. So in this country, elections are a continuous process. Whereas what you saw is that, the Prime Minister saying on 15th August that cracking down on corruption is going to be one of the priorities of this government. It's something that was there when they came in 2014 itself. It's been a continuous process. But this electoral process, and Indian democracy had become a joke worldwide, that, these single man bands, like you just mentioned,
yes.
Where have they got the money from? And they don't even campaign, nothing, but they are there. Their names are there on the list, and they are there fighting the election. Where is the money coming from? Obviously, this whole vote katua party, as they used to say, horrible term, but then where was this coming from? This is all that.
No, let's not start One Neta Party. All 4 of us, 5 of us together, Trinamool Congress. Riju Datta is already Trinamool Congress. Sanju Verma is BJP. So that leaves you, me and Vikas Gupta here. Can we start an registered, unrecognized political party? 3% commission. Let's rotate the money. Who's going to give us this money? Sir, how does this happen? Vikas ji, did you know that these parties were doing this? Rolling money, rotating money, laundered 2,000 crores. 2,177 parties that have now been struck off the list by the Election Commission of India.
Anand,
so we are a democracy, we are a vibrant democracy, so let's go ahead and do whatever we want.
Yes, Anand, you're absolutely on the dot. As far as all these transactions are concerned, these are called round trippings. And round tripping is not only in the political spectrum of One Neta Party, it's there in the business world. In these situations, it's happening within the country, and in the other way, you have round tripping in the tax haven countries. More importantly, when you only talk about 2,000 crores, I'm not against income tax raids against One Neta Party, but the point here is that 2,000 crores is only optic. When you come on a black money undisclosed foreign income act, you bring in 2015, and very little has been done, where hundreds and thousands of billions of dollars were stashed abroad. and the government has done nothing in last 7 years. For almost 8 years now, more than 8 years. And this act came into force in 2015. It's been more than 7 years since this act also came. And I hope that the government sincerely works.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Hundreds and thousands of billions of dollars which are stashed abroad, rather
Very,
than just
very well said. Very well said.
optic.
Vikasji, I agree with you. Very well said that the government should bring back the hundreds and thousands of billions of dollars which have been stashed abroad. I totally agree with you. But you please tell me, you are also a lawyer. You give me $500. I'll take the next flight and land into a foreign land. Now, I dare you to get that money back from me and bring me back. Can you do it?
No, Anand, they have the records of all the HSBC.
Sir,
and
you have the
other-
record. You have the record.
No.
Yeah, you have it on record that I have taken the money from you.
Anand, the investigation has not
Because
taken place. It has not been filed.
I'm asking you, as an individual, you have the record. I have taken the money from you. मैंने photo भी खिंचाई आपके साथ. But I have taken a flight and I have gone abroad. You get the money back from me. No, can you do it?
Anand, I'm not talking about Mehul Choksi or Nirav Modi. I'm talking about the people who are very much in India and who have kept money abroad.
Correct.
I'm talking about those individuals.
So,
I'm not asking for.
Okay, now you please tell me. All right. I'll stay in India. I'm not taking the flight abroad. I'll send this money off with somebody who's taking the flight abroad. They've taken that $500. Now get it out of me. How are you going to get it out of me?
Anand, that is the job of the investigating agency. You don't get involved in it.
Sir?
They know how to get that. They know how to investigate the matter. They also know how to file a charge sheet. They also know how to prosecute those people.
Okay.
So
I am saying you have
investigating
proof, sir.
Anand, just allow me to
Because what I am trying to tell you is I'm not poking fun. I am asking you a serious question. You have proof. You and me have taken a photo. You have given me $500. I have passed that money on to Smita Prakash, who's gone off to out of the country. She's on foreign soil. You have proof against me. I have taken money. I'm saying I don't have the money. I can't give it to you. What will you do? You'll file a complaint against me. You will put me behind bars. How will you get the $500 back, sir?
The Swiss banks and HSBC has given the names of the account holders who are very much present
Sir,
in this country.
देखिए,
They have all the account details, but still nothing has been done.
देखिए,
All I'm saying is, you please also use your forum to request the government.
Of course, I'm doing that. I'll go and do that. But I'm telling you, I am, sir. Sir, what I am. अरे विकास जी आप समझ के ना समझ बन रहे हैं. मैं आपसे solution मांग रहा हूँ. You please tell me how do I do this, and I'll tell the government this is how you do it. Do it.
The investigating agencies have enough tools to
Correct.
get this money back.
The investigating agencies, sir, this is the problem in our system. Sir, Vikas Gupta ji, what I'm trying to highlight is this is the problem in our system. In our system, you can catch the individual, you can't get the money back. That's the problem in our system. And that's what individuals and entities, political parties, etc. are making use of. They will remain in India. You can, what sections of the IPC can you charge me on? $500, what will you put to charge? You put a criminal charge, you'll put me behind bars for 3 months. It's a bailable offense. 1 minute. It's a, अरे 1 minute. सुनिए तो सही. Okay, आप उसमें 6 0 और लगा दीजिए. What will you do? You will say, okay, it's a Prevention of Money Laundering Act. It's not non-bailable offense. Court case will happen. After some time, I'll spend 4 years, 5 years in jail. I'll come out 10 years later. I'll come out. I'll still have those 5 plus 6 zeros lying somewhere which I can access.
So
No.
That means you won't investigate.
It's a reality. Now we are digressing, but you understood my point. Now, Sanju Verma ji, please tell me, who are these political parties? Are they aligned with the NDA at all, or are they aligned with all the opposition parties? आपका ऑडियो म्यूट है. आपका ऑडियो म्यूट है. प्लीज अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ. Sanju ji, can't hear you. Now try again, please. No, we can't hear you. I'm not able to hear you. We'll just sort that out. We'll sort your audio out and come back to you. Riju Datta, would you agree that this is only the parties which are not aligned with the current disposition who are being targeted, or do you believe this is timely?
No, see, if Election Commission is trucking off political parties who are involved in money laundering and involved in any kind of corruption, that is under the purview of the Election Commission, they should very well go ahead and do it. But my question is this: the rules of corruption or the rules of the land or the rules of the law should be uniform for all. We have the greatest respect for the central agencies and the judiciary, but the central agencies seem to be very cautious when it comes to the opposition and when it comes to the main force in the market, which is the BJP Sarkar. They're very reluctant. I am stating facts now rather than going into a political slugfest. I'm stating facts. In 17 years, in Money Laundering Act, ED is an investigating agency for money laundering. They have filed 5,400 cases. Conviction only 23. Only 23 convictions. And some cases goes on for years on end. Nothing happens. What you are discussing now.
Yeah.
Secondly, the ruling disposition in the country, BJP, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you see the total amount they have in their electoral bonds, and if you see other national parties, forget regional parties, national parties like TMC or Congress or Aam Aadmi Party or Samaj Party, these second, third, fourth, fifth parties, you put all of them together, will still not match what BJP has. So, you know, these are the things from 2014 till 2022. I challenge anybody in the current disposition to name one leader or one minister of the BJP that has been investigated by central agencies. None, you will not find a single name.
Riju Datta, this is my phone and this is a teleprompter stick. No matter how much you say it, both will not be the other. What are we talking? We are talking about political parties that are rolling money or rotating money, round-tripping money. That is illegal. A political party getting donations and becoming one of the richest parties in the world, you can't grudge them that. Nobody is stopping you from getting donations. Those are two different aspects. So let's not talk about two separate aspects. But let me just ask Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, can you hear me now? Oh, sorry, you could hear me. Can we hear you now? Let me just check that.
Am I audible, Anand?
Yes, you are. So now 2-3 allegations have come your way. One is poll season se pehle crackdown. ECI had struck out, then why suddenly IT is waking up today? Second part, how many of these parties that have been raided are aligned with the BJP or aligned with the opposition?
Okay. Anand, first and foremost, let me tell you one thing very clearly. That every 4 to 6 months there is an election in India, be it an assembly election or a municipal poll or even a by-poll for that matter. So to try and make an allegation that the BJP has done this because of oncoming elections, I think that is a very naive argument. Point number 2, and more importantly, the Election Commission has clearly said that there have been more than 2,000 parties which have not complied with Section 29A and Section 29C of the Representation of Peoples Act 1951. The Election Commission has gone on to say that over 92% of the RUCPs, registered unrecognized political parties, they have not filed their contribution report pertaining to 2019. They were sent a notice by the Income Tax Office and by the CBDT as recently as 26th May 2022. They were sent notices on various occasions in the last 3 years. They were given enough time to present their case as to why they have not complied, why they have not submitted their audited statement. Because under an RUCP, you are allowed to take various tax exemptions, but you have to submit your audited profit and loss statement, your audited balance sheet. And these more than 2,100 RUCPs have neither submitted their audited balance sheet nor have they submitted their audited financial statements. In some cases, the Election Commission found that in the last 5 to 6 years, some of these parties have not even contested a single election. Whereas the rule is that after being registered, in the first 5 years, you have to contest either an assembly election or a by-poll equivalent to that or a Lok Sabha election.
Right.
And the most important point is this, that 87 RUCPs were found to not have any physical office. The notices sent by the tax department actually returned back saying, "Yahan par to koi physical office hai hi nahi." And the most important thing is that some of these RUCPs who continue to claim tax benefits, they were supposed to give their election expenditure status. You are aware that the rule says within 75 days of an assembly election getting over, the RUCP
No, that is
has
okay.
to submit its election expense.
No, I understand that you're putting out all the rules. This is what is supposed to be done. You said 2,177 plus parties. Our team has just put out of the 23 parties that were found, 20 have been raided. Now, let's see where these parties are from. And then Smita Prakash, please join in and tell me. And of course, we have the political party spokespersons. Are they aligned left, right or center? Which way they are aligned? And why the crackdown? The first party that has been cracked down upon. Let's try and understand. Apna Desh Party. Then the next one, Bharatiya Rashtriya Tantra Party, Navsarjan Bharat Party, Indian Swarna Samaj Party, Jan Man Party, Bharatiya Rajnitik Vikalp Party, Satta Kalyan Party. So many names, Jantavadi Party, Saurashtra Janta Paksha, Bharatiya Jankranti Dal, Loktantrik Jagruk Party, Loktantrik Yuva Shakti Party, Garvi Gujarat Party, Rashtriya Samajwadi Party, Lokshahi Satta Party, Bharatiya Jan Parishad, Rashtravadi Janata Raj Party, Jantavadi Congress Party. So many names. And there are some from Gujarat also. So Riju Datta, you can't say कि partiality किया, Gujarat का parties को नहीं raid किया, ऐसा सब नहीं बोल सकते. It is there, they are there. But creativity, Smita Prakash, what creativity in terms of names? Jan Man Party, Rajnitik Vikalp Party. So many names that they have come up through. But what were they doing? Is it wrong to ask?
I know. It really sounds hysterical, isn't it? I mean, all of us, right from the beginning when we used to go to cast our vote, when, before it became electronic, you probably were too young, but, it used to be that paper, you used to open up that paper and there'd be so many names. You used to say, kaun hai ye log? It's taken years and years, it's taken decades for the Election Commission to wake up and then take some action. And as the numbers are coming in, the names are coming in of where all they've raided, it just goes to show that this is not a witch hunt. It's easy to call it, label it like this, but we need to, Anand, see, as you were, when you were speaking to the good lawyer, that we need to see it come to a logical conclusion. You can't just have now these raids, you can't just confiscate their books and not take it to a logical conclusion. You need to have penalty and prosecution. You need to have them weeded out. What is going to be the fate of the people who were floating these parties? Some of them have shut shop and disappeared. What happens? They stashed the money, they cleaned up their act. Where are they? Some, as you said, might end up behind bars, but they'll get bail, they'll come back and then practice the same dirty practices all over again before the next election. So if we have to weed out corruption from our electoral system, it is necessary that the chain of events should come to a logical conclusion.
Yes, it should. And Riju Datta, these 20 names, anybody friendly to the Trinamool?
No, I've not even heard 19 or 20 of them probably.
Correct. तो फिर तो opposition witch hunt नहीं बोल सकते ना आप?
नहीं, opposition witch hunt, I was claiming in the bigger perspective of what is happening with the current disposition against the current opposition in the country. The known opposition parties in the country.
Correct.
That's all I was trying to look at the
Yeah, but
picture.
known opposition parties may be grudging donations and each other's coffers and funds, but they are not the ones who are hiding their books or who are not submitting their returns.
Nobody is hiding the books apart from the PM Care Fund. Everybody's books is out in the open market.
Sanju Verma, want to respond?
Yeah. Anand, I want to make one very pertinent point. I think one area where I agree with Viju is that, most of us have not heard of, 18 or 19 of the 20 names that have been raided. I just want to make one very interesting point. Let it not be lost on anyone that one major entity whose, business officers have been raided is Rajendra Yadav, the MOF, Home and Higher Education in the Congress-led Ashok Gehlot government in Rajasthan. And mind you, the income tax authorities have found out that he was actually using a packaging company which supplies packaged meals under the midday meal scheme of the Rajasthan government, and using that money was actually being funneled for election purposes. So to imagine that a midday meal scheme is being used nefariously by MOF Higher Education in the Rajasthan government to funnel money for election purposes is unfathomable.
So Sanju Verma ji, here is the allegation. बाकी 19 पार्टी बहाना था, इस एक पार्टी को फंसाना था, because you had a political agenda vis-a-vis Rajasthan. You knew that this person is a minister in the Ashok Gehlot government and you wanted to go after him politically. That's why you raided these 20.
Can I ask a question, Anand?
Yeah, acha, ek minute. Let Riju Datta ask a question also and then you can respond together.
Yeah, my question to my dear Sanju, who has probably agreed with me after 500 debates, is one simple question. She talked about midday meal. Now, as far as I know, in the last 2 days, the biggest midday meal and ration scam that has been unearthed is in Madhya Pradesh under Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So, if she sheds some light on that for the viewers of CNN News 18, that would be great.
Okay, that is digressing, but you must shed light because he's asked the question. When she used midday meal, was that she used the political party to funnel the money for midday meal into the political party and round trip it. So that was the midday meal reference. Please respond to that charge after this question, that is this because you wanted to go after the Ashok Gehlot government. ये मिनिस्टर का इंडिविजुअल पार्टी है, इधर रेड करो, उसके साथ 19 और रेड कर दो, बट ऐसा लगेगा कि सबको कलेक्टिव रेड किया है, बट एक पॉलिटिकल हुक मिल गया हमको. That's another allegation, Sanju Marma.
Anand ji, the Ashok Gehlot government has not covered itself in glory. Be it the Jalori Gate riots, be it the Karoli riots, be it allowing PSI to carry out a peace rally in February 2022. Ashok Gehlot has done so much that he needs to explain, but he is not being held accountable for. I think the BJP does not need to use probe agencies to target him as is being made out to be the case. Let's be very clear. Rajendra Yadav, the MOS Higher Education and Home, has not denied the allegations against him. Has he denied the allegations? No. So I think let's be very clear. You cannot use money meant for poor children, money meant for midday meal scheme to be funneled into electioneering purposes. It cannot get any lower than that. You need to be accountable under Section 29A and under Section 29C of the People's Representative Act of 1951. And if you feel you are right, then pray tell us why have you not submitted the audited balance sheet and profit and loss statements. And when I say you, I mean Rajendra Yadav's company, which is directly supplying to the midday meal scheme by the Gujarat government, which in any case is a conflict of interest. How can you be a minister in the government and also have your business entity supplying key material under the midday meal scheme, which is a welfare program where the state government and the central government have a ratio in which they contribute, and then you raise your hand saying, मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, आपने कुछ किया नहीं है, तो अपनी contribution report submit करिए, अपनी balance sheet submit करिए, अपनी profit and loss submit करिए, statement income tax authorities को,
Right.
so that दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी हो जाए.
Correct. Now, did she answer your question, Riju Datta?
I don't think she even went anywhere near Madhya Pradesh. Would you care to ask her again about the Madhya Pradesh midday meal scam?
Screen पे आप नहीं है, पूछिए.
Madhya Pradesh are frivolous. Your allegations on Madhya Pradesh are frivolous, whereas I have given you details about Rajendra Yadav's nefarious activities. You can.
अरे राजेंद्र यादव को जेल में डालिए ना.
That is not going to hold water.
Arey, here is the thing. I'll tell you what. One minute. One minute. I am running out of time. But घूम फिर के it comes back to the same thing. What did Riju Datta just now say, Vikas Gupta? राजेंद्र यादव को जेल में डालिए. Nobody says जो पैसा घुमाया है वो वापस लेकर आइए. That's what happens. There is no way to recover this money, sir. So, sir, you and me have to start. You and me have to start a political party says कि हम पैसा नहीं घुमाते party.
You will find all the politicians on the same page. At least one thing is there, that nobody, as far as the bogus political parties are concerned, if they are involved in round tripping or any violation of the income tax department, I think strict action must be taken, and not only against these political parties, which is only a minuscule amount of 2,000 crores. I'm saying
minuscule amount, 2,000 crores, sir. 2,000 crores is enough to provide midday meals to more than 1.5 lakh schools across the country for the whole year.
Government must make all sincere effort in bringing back or taking some action against the black money which is undisclosed in foreign incomes.
अच्छा, आपका अभी भी डॉलर, पाउंड और उधर स्विस फ्रैंक में ही लगा हुआ है. यहाँ जो करोड़ों में घुमा रहे हैं उसको तक ध्यान ही नहीं है. वो छोड़ दिया, डिस्काउंटेड. स्मिता प्रकाश, फाइनल वर्ड.
That can be a game changer for the economy.
Yeah, of course, sir, it can be a game changer. But you please tell me, if you cannot recover $500 from me, how do you expect the government to recover billions of dollars? Kahan se aayega? Sir, you have told me the problem. I agree there is a problem. You please also tell me the solution so that you can turn around and tell the government this is the solution, solve it. Okay, Smita Prakash.
I'll send you a written note on how to tackle this problem also. Don't worry.
Done. We will take it up. We'll send it to the government also. Smita Prakash, final word.
No. You see, in this case, unlike in the earlier cases where you were getting truckloads of cash and jewelry and things like that, in this case it's not going to happen because the money is already gone.
Yeah.
You see, it was circulation of the money. The political parties get the money from these dubious donors. They're entry operators. So the money comes in, and then after a small percentage is taken out, and then after that the money goes back to that person. So this is how laundering is done, and the National Exchequer loses crores and crores of this money. The money is gone. Now it is the books which are going to be taken, and because there are so many entries, so many entities, thousands and thousands of people who have donated chota amounts. You see,
Correct.
it will be like 5 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Aise donations have gone in. Some even smaller amounts. How are you going to stop it? The money is gone. So I don't see this ending in any way. I mean, catching the crooks as such. Maybe if further down the road it may not happen. But catching of the crooks who have been doing this, I doubt whether it will really come to any conclusion.
No, we have never fought an election, but we have 50 lakh donors. Each donor has given only 5,000 rupees. And we've got all the addresses. But you want to verify the addresses? Jaiye, aap check karke aaiye. You please go and check. That's the problem. Now here what has happened is that the Election Commission is saying some of the addresses of these political parties are farji. So that's another question. Then how did they get registered in the first place? If the political party address is farji, how did it get registered in the first place? So who was that ECI official who said, okay, stamp, register, ho gaya? Who are these people? They also have to answer this question. So there is accountability at various places. If they are able to do this kind of farjiwada and round tripping, then that means that the system is allowing this to happen. They are able to circumvent the system to do this kind of work. So you've got to fix the system too. That's the challenge the government has, Sanju Verma. So we're expecting a white paper on how to fix that from Vikas Gupta, and we'll send that across to you, Sanju Verma, so you can escalate it within the government, within the party and into the government. Have to wind up. We got to set up the face-off. Sanju Verma stays on, but Riju Datta, Smita Prakash and Vikas Gupta. Thank you very much. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. From Rajpath to Kartavya Path. Right road for Bharat? That's the question that we ask. Stay with us.